Are you someone who is chasing something from quite long time? Then let me remind you, this video is going to be a reminder for you to just quit. Whatever you are chasing, I know that is important for you. Be it your dreams, be it your relationship, be it your career, whatever it is, I am here to tell you to just quit. Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Lady Gaga, Jim Carrey, Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, Gautam Buddha, Mahatma Gandhi, Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, and Nelson Mandela. Do you know what all these people had in common? Well, they all had quit something. And that's why I'm here to tell you why quitting is important. Hi, my name is Justin. Welcome to the channel. Uh, and this is an unscripted video attempt that I'm trying to make. So please excuse my errors. I want this I want this talk to be as natural as possible, where I can communicate directly with you, and I can talk to you from the bottom of my heart, because this topic is very personal to me as an individual. To begin with, let me start by telling the things I have personally quit in my life, and I'm going to give you the examples, or I'm going to go in depth in terms of helping you understand why I quit what I quit. To start with the dreams. So as a child, I have always wanted to be an army officer. I wanted to serve in the military. I think that dream started when I was around maybe 10 years old or so. I remember, I clearly remember it started when I was in fifth or sixth standard in school, and I started carrying that dream for a long time. I used to get goosebumps looking at army officers. I used to watch army officers going. I used to watch army vehicles passing. We used to stay in Delhi, so it was not very unusual to spot army vehicles on the road, or army person on the road. So whenever I used to look at the uniform, whenever I used to look at the soldiers, I used to feel the goosebumps, and I wanted to go and just join army and to be a hero. And I've been chasing that dream from quite long time, for a quite long time. So I was all around. I tried multiple things, right? So I tried getting admission into science school. I was getting myself physically trained. So I trained in martial arts. I trained in various forms, where I thought I will make myself the fit version, that once I complete my schooling I can just go and join army. But what shocked to me was that there were some things that happened in my life, and unfortunately, for the first time in my entire schooling, I flunked in my 12th board exams in physics subject, and that was my first reminder for me to just stop chasing. But I kept on continuing. I still, went ahead, applied for army recruitments. I applied for ND. I couldn't clear it, and then I was still chasing. I, in fact, remember once I told one of my uncle that I will wear the uniform at least once in my lifetime. That much passionate I was about it. Then what happened is that I later got diagnosed with diabetes. I used to feel very weak in my body. I used to go to gym, I work out. I used to feel energized, but coming back home within few minutes, I used to feel that my body is shaking. I couldn't understand it in the beginning, but later I realized. Later we diagnosed that I'm diabetic, and that kind of cut short my option of ever being into army or getting into army. And that was the first time I got a shocker in my life, that maybe something that you are always been chasing is not meant for you, and there is something better for you. So I had to stop that dream. I had to stop chasing that dream. And it was not my personal decision, but it was a decision that was, I would say, was put on to me by God, or whatever, it is. But yeah, it was out of my hand. I then wanted to be a priest also, but again, there were some reasons because of which I didn't wanted to chase it. Later, I chose a career within HR, right? and I have done my MPA in HR, and I've worked as an HR. And I'll come to the career part later sometime in the video. Stay tuned to the video and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done. That gives me the motivation to come back and talk to you about my journey, my story, right? The second is about my relationship, right? So there have been some relationships in my life that I have been chasing. To start with, love relationships. I was into a relationship for almost 8 to 9 years. I was chasing somebody, going all out, doing all my best to chase the person, and I wouldn't have given up on my relationship at any given point of time. I was madly chasing the relationship. But again, later at some point of time, after chasing for so long, I realized that it is not worth chasing. That relationship, that person, it is not worth chasing. So I had to call it quit, and that's a decision that I, if I look back, I am not sure how. I've never thought about quitting it, but then I took the decision of quitting, which had made me only a better person. I have a huge supporting wife today, and I'm in a very happy relationship. And, it has only made me a better person. There are some friendships which I had to cut down, I had to quit. Those friendships which I have been chasing, where I knew that I am not good enough to be in that group, in that friends group. But still, I had to chase. I wanted to chase those friendships because I don't know. Maybe you wanted to be in some circle, but later you realize that that is not meant for you. And I had to cut down some friendships, some relationships with my close family members, some relatives, some cousins. It happens, you chase few things, you chase things in your life, and at later some point of time in your life you realize they are not worth chasing, and you stop chasing them and you quit. The question is, how long would you chase? How long would you follow up? How long would you not give up? Now, coming back to the career part, I did my MBA and I wanted to be an HR. I did HR. I got into job. I've got around 7.5 years of experience as an HR. But currently I'm jobless. And I quit my job few months back. I left the job that I was doing. And I quit it because it was not making sense. It was becoming a very traumatic experience for me. That workplace, it was very toxic. There was politics. There were a lot of things that was happening around, and I couldn't relate to the job that I was doing, something that I've been doing for 7.5 years. But I made a conscious call of quitting it. And let me tell you, people around me were shocked when they got to know that I decided to quit. I decided to quit without a job. I decided to quit without having any other plans. And I just quit. But let me tell you, when I quit also, I knew that I am aiming up for something bigger than this. I am not going to get stuck with this. I'm going to liberate myself, and I'm going to create something which is bigger than this. But I just didn't know what it is. And I'll come back to you on that also, why it is important, and why you will realize that you are quitting not just for quitting that thing, but you are quitting because you are going to create something which is bigger than what you have been always thinking and doing. So those are few things that I have quit personally in my life, and I don't regret quitting any of these things. And I'm very happy that I took the decision to quit. Yes, few decisions were took longer time for me to quit, but that also was worth it, because when you quit something, you need to realize that you have given your everything out for it. You have done your 110 percentage of giving it to it. And I can personally vouch that whatever I have quit in my life till date, I have given my 110 percentage into it. I saw some success, I chased things, I got that satisfaction that I was chasing it, and then I decided to quit. So I don't regret anything that I've quit till date in my life. Now, the question that keeps coming up is why nobody talks about quitting. Why it is so an unusual topic. That nobody talks to you that you should quit something. You should just stop chasing. It is very hard. You don't usually hear people or your loved ones telling you about quitting, or social media influencers or anybody telling you to quit. And I'll tell you why. Because when you quit something, you are misbranded as failure. I'm not telling you you are failure. I'm telling you you are misbranded as failure, because the people around you saw, and they associated you with those particular things that you were doing. So you were a HR, you were a doctor, you were a you know you were a lecturer, you were doing something, and people always remembered you. They have always branded you with that particular association. So Justin as a person was associated with the job I was doing as HR, as a title that I was doing. But the moment I quit it, they don't know what to represent me to, or or else because they have never seen the other side of you, where they could imagine that, okay, this person could be something else also. So you are misbranded as a failure by the society. But what I want to tell you is that that is not failure. Second is, it disturbs loyalty, right? When I said loyalty, when when you keep chasing something, when you are into something for years, when you have been chasing something for years, all along the way, you are representing loyalty. You are representing loyalty, that you are loyal to that particular goal, you are loyal to that particular thing that you are chasing, you are loyal to that person, you are loyal to whatever you are chasing. And the moment you decide to quit, or you moment you decide to leave, then you are disloyal. But let me tell you this, loyalty is a two-way street, as most of us know, right? If you're chasing something, and if that is not coming to you, and if that is just leaving you dry, leaving you broken, leaving you shattered, leaving you um, unmotivated, or whatever you want to call it, then how is that loyalty to be considered as? Third is, it exposes your grief, and it is very hard, right? Which means something that you have been chasing for years, some goals, some relationships, some dreams that you have been chasing for years. The moment you decide to quit it, that means you are decided to kill it. The dream that you have been carrying for years, you have decided to just kill it. And that comes with grief. That comes with very hard, moment of realization. So it is hard. So anybody asking you to quit something, I am, as a person, asking you to quit something, I know the moment you are going to quit, you are going to get into grief. And I don't want you to grieve. If I am somebody who loves you, who wants to, who cares for you, I don't want you to break down, I don't want you to grieve. And that's why your family, your friends, the society never wants you to quit, because they can't see you going through the grief and the hard moments. But let me tell you this also: once you have done with the grief, you come out of the situation. We we as a person, as an individual, as a human being, I'm sure we all go through the moments when somebody very close to us passes away, right? And that moment comes with a lot of grief, but we move on also. It's a hard hitting fact, but we move on. And it's not like we stop you know thinking about them or remembering them. We never stop remembering our loved ones. And the same thing happens with whatever we have quit. I still think of the days when I was chasing my dreams of being an army officer, or whatever I was chasing, right? Of that career, of that dream that I was chasing. But then that's it. That's just it. I used to stay in Bangalore, so I used to pass the army cantonment area every day again. The same way I used to, pass from in front of army cantonments in Delhi, where I used to live before. But then something inside has changed. I look at it and I say, I chased it, but you didn't deserve me, and that's why I moved on. And that comes with clarity. You need to grieve. You need to grieve over the things that you have been chasing, so that you can be able to quit it completely. And as I said, it is a revolution. When you decide to quit something, it is a revolution that happens within you, and it changes you completely, right? I cannot think of me as a person who has been chasing the dream of being an army officer. There are two things that happened within me, that if I have to tell you my personal story. I have been from the childhood. I've been a very disciplined person. As since I wanted to be in army, I used to follow a routine of waking up at time, sleeping at time, putting in the efforts to go for a morning walk or something like that. I used to follow a routine because I thought once I got into army, it's going to be a very disciplined life, and I need to train myself. So when I came out of the dream of, not becoming an army officer anymore, I started to, it was first, it is liberating, plus it started revolutionizing me. I remember having the army cuts. Whenever I used to go to a barber shop or a salon, I used to tell them, I need a barber cut. And I realized, and I also tell you, when I got my mustache and beard for the first time in my life, I kept it like, I used to keep my mustache like this. I trimmed down my beard. I said I'll never keep a beard because army officers are not supposed to keep beard, right? But today, look at me. I can't imagine myself not having a beard. I get scary. I get scared looking at myself in that way. Anyways, that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you try quitting something, it revolutionizes you for better, and that's what It's a revolutionizing thing. Um Now the thing is, we also need to understand that nobody around us wants you to quit. Let me tell you this. One is category of people who doesn't ask you to quit. Say for example, it might be your parents, right? You are chasing a dream of becoming something, and you're at it. Say for example, because I am an HR, I've been in that field. I've seen people who are chasing some careers for a long time. Say for example, CA, or a UPSC dream, uh, and uh, and they have been chasing it for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years without seeing success in it. And while their parents might not ask them to quit directly, but you could also see that their parents are not and are completely unhappy with them chasing it over the time. They indirectly keep telling, why don't you try applying for this job, why don't you try looking out for something else? But they don't have the power, the guts to tell you to quit. Those are your loved ones, the people who are scared to tell you not to quit. The first category. Now there is a second category of people uh, who who doesn't want you to quit, and they want to promote the rat race culture, right? uh, this can be somebody, uh, maybe a toxic partner, or maybe your work colleague, or maybe somebody, I'm not sure, somebody who doesn't want you to quit, and they promote the rat race culture. They promote you to keep chasing things, and I'll tell you why. Because as I said earlier also, quitting breaks their script. While they cannot call you, while they will call you as a failure also, but that changes their script, because now they are not ready to see you in the new avatar that you have become. They are not ready to see you in different lens. They are not ready to see something different, something good, something new for you. Second is, it exposes their denial, which means many of those people who ask you not to quit are those people who have been chasing something on their own for a long time, and maybe they also couldn't see the success, and they never had the courage in them to quit. So it kind of triggers a discomfort in those people, and they don't want you to quit. So that's why they promote the rat race culture. That's why they promote, or they will never talk to you about quitting your dreams. Then the third one is quitting, reclaims power, which means, I'll tell you a small example that I'm sure we all have been seeing around. There are so many coaching institutes. There are so many, institutes around you that keep telling, go at it, go at the dream. You can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, you can clear IIT, you can clear IIM. Okay, if you haven't studied in this, if you have studied in this institute and you couldn't clear it, come to us. We will promote you. We will do everything, that will help you achieve your dreams. I personally remember when I was trying to apply for the army, there were a lot of uh, coaching institutes. Sorry, there were a lot of coaching institutes around me who used to tell me, you come to us. We will help you clear the SSB interview. We will, go. We are a recruitment kind of a company. We will help you get into the army, maybe by paying fees or whatever it is. But They were trying to sell it to me that they have the power to help me chase my dream. But let me tell you, my friend, I'm sorry, nobody has the power to help you chase the dream. It is only within you to chase it. And if you are someone struggling to chase it after giving it your everything, maybe it's not meant for you. Maybe you need to quit, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. The last one is, quitting changes your identity. From my own example, when within my friend circle, within my peer group, as somebody with whom I have been interacting for a long time, people knew how I used to think. People know that I am disciplined. People know that this is how we will react. People know that this is something which can rage him out, and all those things. And the moment you quit and becomes a new person, your identity completely changes, and then they need to unlearn everything about you to know you better. And that's why they don't tell you to quit. Now let me tell you why you should quit. See, you need to quit because quitting brings clarity. So when you are chasing something for years and years and year over and year, you become very good in in that particular area. But what if that is not your strength? What if it is not something that you can be great at? There is something else that you have never explored, because you were just going like a horse with things tied to its eyes. You never realized there were more things. So you kind of get clarity once you start quitting. Second is, you it gives you an emotional freedom, which means when you stop chasing something, you become emotionally clear, because you have got the courage in you to choose who you want to be. And that's the most courageous decision, or that's the most biggest freedom that one can have in their life. The moment somebody decides to quit something, quits chasing something, they become emotionally free. The third is, you will get a space to find a new purpose, right? So when I quit things that whatever I've quit in my life, I got a purpose to chase something new, and that kind of gives a kick. That kind of gives a high to you. And that's you are not anymore chasing the old things that you were chasing, and the things that you know in and out. You are chasing something new, and when you are chasing something new, or when you are finding purpose in something new, you get into the nitty-gritties of it. You go deep down. You start researching, and that kind of gives you a new purpose in your life. The fourth is recovery from burnout and perfectionism, which means when you have been chasing something for over a period of time, you are chasing perfectionism also. You chase it, you fail at it. You chase it, you fail at it. You chase it, you fail at it. Every time you're trying to improve yourself, and you are coming almost close to perfectionism. And perfectionism, let me tell you, is not good all the time, right? So you don't have to chase it all the time. You don't have to be a perfectionist in everything that you do. And perfectionism, let me tell you, is also a myth. The last is growth. When you quit something and when you start thinking of in new dimensions, you start encouraging a growth mindset within you, which means you will start realizing the growth opportunities around you. You will start creating a mindset in you that helps you to grow out of your comfort zone, and you become this new person who somebody who is ready to do anything around you. And now I'll come to the first thing that I told in the beginning of this video, that when I quit my job, I didn't knew what I was going to do next. All I knew that I have the power within me to become something greater, to do something greater than what I was doing. And this particular thing cannot stop me. This particular job cannot stop me. And let me tell you, I never thought I was going to be on YouTube. For the last few months, I have been exploring this opportunity of what YouTube is, how I can be on YouTube. I have never faced camera, so I'm learning something new. I'm learning how to, speak to a camera. I'm learning something new. What topic I need to learn? What are the things that I'm doing a retrospection within me to see what were my learnings all this while. There are a lot of things that keeps happening, and that kind of breaks my avenue to become a new person. Also, I was somebody who was absolutely bad at handling technology. And then when I thought of becoming, coming to YouTube, I realized I need to be good at editing, I need to be good at talking to camera, integrating the tech. There are a lot of things that I need to be good at it, and that's why I said it creates a growth mindset, which I personally enjoy, and I think you should also try doing it, and you will really enjoy it. Before I wind up the video, I just want to tell you one more thing, right? So I'm talking to you as an individual to an individual. I'm talking to the person who is listening to me, my kind of the person who is there in this channel, who is watching me. Let me tell you one more thing, my friend. I'm sure you would have never come across people motivating you to quit as an individual. But let me tell you something which is very, known to everybody. Let me tell you about few companies out there: Nokia, Kodak, Yahoo, Blueberry. Now let me tell you few other company names: Netflix, Apple, Amazon. Right? I'm sure you as a person know all these companies out there. But can you tell me what were the differences between the first set of companies that I told and the difference between the second set of companies I told? Right? Kodak, Blueberry, Nokia, Yahoo. They never changed. They never came out of something that they were doing. And let me tell you this also: they were very good at what they were doing. Kodak, they were into camera, they were doing really good. They were the biggest camera company out there. Or photography, they were into that industry, so they were the best in that. you know Blackberry, they were into smartphones. That was like awesome. They were doing it, and till date there is no competition for Blackberry, that small keypad phone. That is, no other company has been successful in designing something like that. Or say Yahoo, the first email company. I mean, they were into emailing. Nokia, you know, I still remember the tagline, connecting people, but they couldn't revolutionize. They couldn't change. They couldn't quit what they were really good at. And that's what I want to tell you. Sometimes you need to quit what you are really good at, so that you can become something great. Netflix quit DVD sales to become the biggest streaming channel, in the world today. Apple quit making computers to become the biggest smartphone, manufacturers in the world. Amazon quit online book store to become the biggest e-commerce out there. What I'm trying to tell you is, quitting is not failure. If you're quitting something, that doesn't mean that you are bad at it. When you quit to become something bigger and something greater. And you as an individual need to understand that when you quit something as an individual level, maybe you're exploring something bigger, something greater. Consider subscribing this channel. That will give me the motivation to come up with new ideas. And I just want to wind up with a video saying that quit what defines you to become what you are meant to be. Thank you for listening me out, and I wish you all the success in whatever you are trying to quit and becoming something greater. Thank you for listening me out. Bye.